Hello, wonderful attendees. I'm your host, Dalvinder Kaur from lovely Professional University. Get ready to dive into today's topic, Ask Me Anything session, management. Before we proceed further, allow me to introduce the expert of the day, Dr. Rajesh Verma, Professor and Senior Dean at Mittal School of Business, lovely professional university. With over 20 years of experience in teaching, research, and consulting, he specializes in business models and political marketing. He has published 60 plus research papers, 20 plus case studies, and 7 books. He has received multiple grants and awards. He has also represented LPU globally in various academic forms. So now I would like to introduce the admission nominee also in this webinar, Dr. Mahendra Singh Kaswan, Associate Professor in Mechanical Engineering, lovely professional university. Dr. Kaswan holds a PhD from the same university and MTech from Kurukshetra. He is an expert in industry circular economy, Lean Six Sigma, and more. He is also a member of the Indian Science Congress with 50 published articles and 5 patents. Before we proceed further in today's session, I would like to request everyone for any questions regarding management or admissions. You can write in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and same will be addressed from my side. Now, I hand over this session to our expert, Dr. Rajesh Verma, and it would be an absolute delight to listen from him. Over to you, Dr. Rajesh Verma.
Thank you, Dalvinder. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this AMA Ask Me Anything session being organized by Lovely Professional University. Though I think it's a big statement, you can ask me anything, but let me put a disclaimer that with my knowledge, I would like to answer each and every question which you probably answer here, which you ask here. With the experience and with my opinion, and you can take it as my opinion on whatever questions you'll ask, and that is based upon my experience in management education for last around 25 years. So I think I have started my career with the Standard Chartered Bank and then moved into research as UGC scholar, JRF scholar, and then probably in academics. So I understand industry, research, as well as academia, and how the current era probably requires these all three things to be successful. And I'm sure we would have a very fruitful session, and I'll try to answer each and every question which probably you'll ask in this session. Thank you. So, Devinder, over to you.
Yes. Can we take questions? Our experts, Dr. Mahendra Singh Kaswan and Dr. Rajesh Verma.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So Rajat is asking here, why should someone pursue an MBA and how does it add value to their career? Very interesting.
I think the first question is very, very interesting. And I'll start with saying that an MBA is more than just a degree. It is just like a career accelerator. Because you see, the degrees probably there's one perspective of every degree is knowledge, right? So that goes true for MBA education also. But then I call it as career accelerator. Why I say that? Because it equips all of us with the strategic thinking, leadership skills, business acumen needed to take high impact roles. And whatever field you are in, uh, if you are looking for climbing the corporate ladder, or you are looking for switching industries, or even if you are looking to launch your own startup, I think the MBA is the perfect qualification for that person, because it opens doors for diverse opportunities. And I've been saying it many times that MBA is just like a sea where all the rivers actually come and meet, right? Because in MBA degree, there is no prerequisite of qualification. A person with BA, a person with BSc, a person with BTech, a person with B pharmacy, a person with agriculture background, a person with pure medical background, nursing background. Everyone can come and probably do MBA. And that's because this degree actually provides a growth opportunity to everyone. So beyond technical knowledge, this degree also help build a very strong professional network. It also helps you in getting global exposure, and and that helps you stay ahead of the industry trends, right? So plus the confidence and decision making skills required, right, so that you become a very very valuable asset to any organization. That's what an MBA degree actually imparts. So if I want to put it simply, MBA isn't just about education or knowledge. It is about transforming your own self. It is about ensuring that you grow in your life. It is about ensuring that you unlock whatever potential you have. So just to summarize it again, I'll use the same line which I used to start it with. An MBA is more than just a degree. It is your career accelerator.
Thank you so much, Rajat. I hope you got your answer from our expert, Dr. Rajesh. This gonna be this session, Ask Me Anything session, gonna be very, very interesting. I can surely say this. Participant, you just write your questions. And can we take the next question? Neha is asking something.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, Neha is asking, how important is work experience before pursuing an MBA, and what is the ideal time to enroll?
That's a very good question from the perspective of how MBA is handled internationally and how MBA probably is handled in India. I think in most of the international MBA programs, you need an MBA work experience before you actually join the MBA. In India, though this is not the case, any fresh student passing out of a college can actually pursue MBA. There is no doubt that work experience enhances the value of an MBA, right? Because it provides real world context to classroom learning. People who have the prior experience, they actually bring in a lot of insights from their work experience into the discussions, and it enriches your peer learning, right? So that's why, no doubt, work experience actually is very, very important for an MBA degree. But for the fresh graduates, the big question is, uh, should you wait for getting the work experience before joining MBA, or you should directly join MBA? So do you need work experience before pursuing an MBA? In my opinion, the answer is no. And why I am saying this is uh, top MBA programs, if, like LPU, if we are giving an MBA program, it is actually integrating your industry exposure directly into the curriculum. So even if you are not coming with an work experience, the program is designed in a way that you are getting the industry experience along with your MBA degree. So let me give you, sorry, I'll give you two reasons. First, let us say if the MBA offered by Mittal School of Business, there are a lot of tie-ups with the industry, with global leaders like EY, KPMG, IBM, which ensures that industry faculty is coming and teaching at least 6 courses in each of the specializations you'll do. That bridges the gap between theory and practice. So even if you don't have a work experience, these people who are coming, they are bringing the industry experience inside the classroom, right? And second is the live projects, industry live projects. They are also built into the programs. Now, these industry live projects actually provide hands-on experience that partially compensates for the traditional work experience, because along with your education, you are also actually having that experience on working on industrial projects. And let me tell you, I'll just give you one example of one initiative that we have. The initiative we call is Brand Cell. And in that initiative, the students are immersed into a real life business challenge. What we ask them to do is that they have to identify a product which is unbranded in the local market, Take, for example, you can take perfume, right? And that can be one of the example, which is unbranded, right? Ether, you understand, right? So let us take an unbranded ether. So they have to bring that and they have to brand it, right? So they have to give a name to it. They have to create marketing strategies around it and they have to sell it. So that means they are branding an unbranded product and then they are selling it and generating revenue. Now, this exposure which they are getting is in the marketing management class, which means even if they have not done branding earlier, even if they have not done marketing earlier, this course is giving them an opportunity to go and procure the product from the market, store it, that means inventory management, create a brand, which means branding, right? And then sell it, which is actually selling process, right? And then generate revenue for themselves. And you'll be surprised that people, students in this course, they generated a revenue of around 40 lakhs with a profitability of more than 60%. So now that actually is compensating for if the student does not have an industry experience. So even if he's fresh, he's coming here, but in different courses, he's getting that industry experience, right? So for freshers, I think MBA can be a it is a starting point to give the career a right push, right? It offers a lot of structural business knowledge. It offers a lot of industry exposure, right? You may focus on internships, practical learning through internships and projects also, but a well-designed MBA program uh, should actually equip the student with the industry knowledge in almost every course. So it is not about one internship. It is about doing a lot of hands-on things which matters to the industry in almost every course. So that's where I would say, to summarize the question which Dalvinder just asked, I think Neha asked through Dalvinder. Uh, the work experience is very important, right? And definitely a person who comes with a work experience, uh, for him, the career growth would increase immediately. But for freshers, I am saying you need to be very choosy about what kind of program you are choosing. So you need to choose a program in which you have a lot of industry projects, a lot of industry experience, a lot of industry tie-ups are inbuilt into the program, which compensates for the work experience. So that's my suggestion on this point.
Thank you so very much. Brilliant. Um, so just ask, because it's a golden opportunity. You just ask. Okay, now Gurpreet is asking here, how can BBA students gain practical experience through internships, projects, and industry exposure?
So I think I'll answer it from the perspective of a management program. It may be an MBA or it may be a BBA. The question is more related to BBA. And the question is again related to what I just answered. Uh, how can he gain industry knowledge through internships, through live projects, through other initiatives, right? Now, one thing which is very important in management education, which everyone should understand, is that traditionally management education was taken to be more theoretical in nature, right? Because if you see engineering, they can tell you that if you join these two wires, the current would pass, right? Or mechanical engineer can tell you that if the wheel is of this shape, that's how the resistance would be less and energy consumption would be less. But with management students, you didn't have such kind of thing. Or if you go into medical education, you'll find that the hospital and the MBBS college both are always together, right? So that becomes their lab. But in case of management, this was not the case because but now uh, most of the people have started realizing uh, that for management education, industry is the lab, right? So how closely we are integrated with the industry, how closely we are knitted with the industry, that's where the value of any management program comes in. And that integration may be through guest lectures, that integration may be through live projects, that integration may be through industrial visits, that guest lecture may be through internships, long-term internships, right? That may be real problem solving consultancy project in the management program. So the ultimate goal is to align with the industry and work with the industry so that you understand that if you are going to work in the industry after BBA, let us say 3 years, you should be ready to work on the day one. And in case of MBA, after 2 years, you should be ready to work on day one. Companies should not feel that they have to invest more on training you for their organizations. The MBA or the BBA program should train the students in such a way that the students are productive for the organizations on day one and not after training required from the company, right? So that should be the focus, and that's what is the focus of internships and everything. So I hope I have been able to answer your question.
I hope you got your answer from our expert. Someone is asking here, Dr. Rajesh, scope of MBA in business analytics in current environment.
Okay, so I think let me answer it in a way that today, all of you who are a part of this webinar, I'm sure you have joined the webinar through phone or through laptop, right? Similarly, most of your purchases, starting from ordering food or ordering FMCG products through Blinkit or others, or using Amazon for ordering products, or watching movies through OTT platforms like Netflix, or attending sessions of experts through Zoom and other platforms. Everything is creating a data, right? Everything is creating a data. Now, most of the companies, they actually face a challenge that what do you do with this data, right? Data is there, but how do you derive and important insights from this data? What insights you can draw from this data, which can help the consumers and which can help the companies to grow? So when everything is becoming digital, and in the coming time also, the data infusion would grow like anything, right? So the industry need people who actually have this skill of understanding this humongous data which is available, convert into some informational insights which the decision makers can use to take important decisions. So which means a student with an MBA business analytics specialization or business analytics program would be in much demand in the times to come. And all of you are using technology, right? There is nothing, I think from the morning, first thing you start doing is using technology. And the last thing while going to bed is you're using technology, right? It may be a mobile phone, but you are ultimately using technology. So, and this technology is creating data. And companies need people who can actually give a meaningful insights of their data, which can be used to create better strategies for the customers, better strategies for companies to grow. So I'm sure in the coming time, everyone, not even only business analytics people, but a person who is specializing in finance, specializing in marketing, specializing in HR would need this skill. So business analytics would become a fundamental skill, not an only an area of specialization, but it is a fundamental skill now for all the areas or functional areas of management.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Rajesh. Can we take the next question, Dr. Rajesh?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Someone is asking here, how is the AI and technology transforming MBA programs and the future of business education?
Uh, I was a little surprised that this question came a little late because everybody is talking about AI,
Yeah.
and the way AI has been revolutionizing everything. Uh, AI and technology is definitely revolutionizing the MBA program also, and it is making the business education more personalized, making more data driven, and making more industry relevant, right? And just let me give you a few pointers that how this AI probably is transforming an MBA program. And the first can be the learning, AI powered learning is becoming more personalized, right? So there are a lot of adaptive learning platforms now which analyze students' performance and customize the the coursework for them, right? And help them learn at their own pace. So there are a lot of platforms which we are also using now, where the student can go and he can actually improve his communication skills, his technical skills, his analytical skills. And those platforms keep on giving you feedback based upon the kind of responses you are giving to the system. So which means your learning is becoming more personalized. Second thing is, which I already said in my previous answer, that most of the decisions in the industry are becoming data driven, right? So there can be no good MBA program without having an emphasis on analytics, AI, or machine learning, right? Which probably falls in the complete bracket of artificial intelligence when we call it. So this is actually preparing students for more data centric roles, more data centric leadership roles. And in our MBA program at Mittal School of Business, let me tell you, uh, we started way back, and now there is a core course on uh, machine learning using Python, right? So we have a core course on that. We have a core course on data visualization. We have a core course on analytics, right? Which every student has to do despite his background, right? So if everybody is learning this, which means now you would be prepared for the industry. So you'll not be surprised when you join industry that how do I use this data and take decisions. And let me also add that, let us say the course on data analytics using Python or Power BI uh, course you for visualization, they are being taught by the IBM expert. The IBM expert, we have a tie with IBM, and these two core courses are being taught by the IBM people because uh, one, they have a lot of industry database, they have a lot of industry problems with them, and every student actually gets to know how industry is working on the data real time, right? So that's how it's working. Plus virtual and hybrid learning. This is the third point I'm saying, that how AI and technology is revolutionizing MBA program. There are a lot of online platforms. There are a lot of AI tutors. There are a lot of immersive VR experiences, right? Virtual reality. Even in one of the course which I taught on marketing, we made student create one store, right? Virtual store using VR experience, that how customer would enter the store and how would he experience it, right? So an MBA student, and that to a non-technical, he's not a BTech student, but a non-technical student actually creating such kind of things, right? So this is your virtual and hybrid learning is now becoming more prominent because of the use of AI. Then your real world simulations and AI based case studies. Let us say in Mittal School of Business, we would have around tie-up with one of the company, and we have 20 plus different simulations in different courses. And let me tell you how does simulation work, and that's what artificial intelligence can do, right? Let us say uh, in a course on strategy, we create a team of 5 people in the class, and you are running one company. The second group is also running another company. So if you make some changes, let us say you reduce your price, so the more customers would come to you, but this company, the second company would start facing losses. So you have to again take decisions. So the AI, actually, artificial intelligence is actually creating an artificial environment which is as good as a real environment. So I am running an organization, but that organization may be an simulated organization, but the experience I am getting from that is just like running a true organization. And at the end, I am being evaluated on the basis of how much revenue I generated for my organization, how much shareholder value I generated, right, for the stakeholders. So that's real world simulation is being brought into the class. And there are 20 plus such simulation in different courses which we are doing, right? Then in let us assume in finance courses, your a lot of discussions and implications on how blockchain and fintech is working these days, right? Which is largely AI driven, right? So this is keeping the MBA students ahead in the tech driven industries. Plus, more to do so, AI in career development also, right? So there are a lot of AI driven career services also. Let us say, for example, uh, we take a lot of psychometric tests of the students, and based upon the answers the student is giving, the AI powered system is actually giving you responses. How do you improve upon your weakness? Which area you are good at? Which industry suits you more, right? So which means AI is also being used in career development. So I took little more time on explaining this, but I think there would be no good program if you are considering choosing different MBA programs. I am sure you should be looking at all these things which I said should be available now in an MBA program. So I'm not talking about a technical program, but these all things should be in a MBA program. So the future of business education probably has to be tech enabled. It has to be more experiential. It has to be deeply integrated with AI, right? So that we can ensure that the graduates who are passing out of this MBA program are ready for the digital first business landscapes. Now, most of the businesses are becoming digital first, right? So they should be ready. So it's not only about digital first businesses, but they should be ready for any kind of technology usage in different kind of industries. So probably all of us should be very, very clear on this, that the future of business education is probably tech enabled.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajesh. I hope, and I can surely say this, all the participants got their answers from our expert, Dr. Rajesh. Someone is asking about placements. We'll take this question later. Um, I want to invite our admission nominee. Someone is asking about the residential facilities. Dr. Kaswara, the admission nominee, is also with us. I would like to
Uh,
invite admission nominee.
Thank
Someone is,
you.
yes, sir. Dr.
Thank you,
Kaswa.
Dalvinder. I just want to say that lovely Professional University Punjab provide the one of the best residential facility. Not I'm saying within the state, in all over the India. I just want to share with you that we are having the largest number of students within the campus, and we provide apartments to the candidates. We also provide hostels to the candidate depending upon their choice. They can opt receive. We also provide 24-hour electricity, security services, medical services, and all the things. I just want to share with you that a lot of learnings from the hostels candidate can go over the same. And I am also staying in the campus, so I just want to say with you that if any student come to the campus, uh, this is one of the beautiful campus I have ever seen. I have also worked with different national level institution like NIT Kurukshetra. I have already studied there. I have also visited different IITs. But in terms of residential facility, this is far from the expectation of any student. It is world-class hostel facility. We also provide the opportunities like indoor facility for different kind of sports like that. You can say basketball, volleyball, badminton, shooting range, swimming pool, gymnasium. All these facilities are available. And right from the morning, student can opt the same. Different batches for the same is also available. We also provide mess facility. Different plans is there. Okay. So if someone says to me about the hostel and if someone want to opt the hostel, I always recommend to opt for the hostel because you learn uh, a lot of things. Because from my personal experience, I am sharing the things. In hostel, you also learn other things from the academics. Also, you make small group and you start studying in the group. Okay. Uh, and if anyone want to visit basically what kind of rooms we provide, what kind of apartments we provide, and student can also see the same things on our website lpo.in. There is a virtual tool available for the hostel. Student can opt the same. And I want to say that once last year we have invited the parents uh, whenever they visit to the university along with their uh, student or son or sister, sorry, daughter, we provide them to stay in the hostel so that they can also take a real-time experience. So that's all from my side, Alvinder. If any specific question related to our hostel is there, I am also happy to share with them. Anyone.
We will take the question now from Rajesh, sir, Dr. Rajesh,
Yeah.
regarding the placements. Thank you so much, Dr. Kaswan. We'll get back to you soon. How are the placements done in LPU and what's the process?
Okay. So a very good question, because ultimately, one thing which an MBA degree promises is a wonderful career, right? And that's where I think the placements of an MBA program are always looked forward to. And let me tell you, because I told you that this is a degree which probably talks about a lot of streams, different streams, right? Similarly, when I talked about that any BA student, BSc student, pharmacy student, medical student, everybody can actually join an MBA program. Similarly, on the output front, an MBA degree is acceptable across all sectors of industry and across all functional areas of management, right? What I mean to say is, when I talk about industry, so you talk about cement industry, automobile industry, you talk about IT industry, right? Garments, right? So everywhere, probably you need an MBA students, or healthcare, right? And similarly, across all functional areas, for example, marketing, finance, HR, operations, right? You need a management student. So that's what probably the place on the placement front, right? So you have a lot of good career opportunities. And let me tell you, the kind of growth Indian economy is seeing now, you would figure out a lot of companies are growing. More the companies grow, more is the opportunity for MBA students. So there is no dearth of placement opportunities. And probably, if I talk about Mittal School of Business, you would have banks coming in, you would have a lot of automobile companies coming in, a lot of paint companies coming in, right? A lot of education sectors, new startups coming in, a lot of banks and your insurance companies coming in. So you would hardly find any sector which probably would not be coming to help you for placements. And about the process, every company has a different process of placement, right? And that's a very valid question. There are some companies which would hire student based upon your written test, which might include your analytical skills, that might include a case study, right? That might expect you to write a essay onto your what is that, how you would like to grow, and what is that you would like to do. So there are a lot of questions which companies, so the test can be as broad as whatever you can think of, but then the management program actually prepares you for each one of them. Now let us say there is a company coming which are asking you for analytical skills, which is logical reasoning and everything, right? But in the MBA program itself, there are two courses on analytical skills which are inbuilt into the MBA program, which prepares you for these tests. Similarly, you go to the next stage, the company would like to assess you based upon an interview, right? And in an interview, two things which are very important. One is technical skills, and another is your soft skills. So your entire MBA program is preparing you for your technical skills, but there are around two courses which are preparing you specifically for your soft skills. How to speak, what to speak, how should your resume look like? How should your LinkedIn profile look like? Right? So that, which means that once you join an MBA program, that MBA program itself is preparing you to go through that entire process. It doesn't mean that you take an admission and you are going through the course and you are left alone to get selected in the organization. No, for the entire process of selection, the institute, the MBA program is actually preparing you. And now to add upon to that, in case of Mittal School of Business only, right? You think about any good company and you will find that that has already recruited students from LPU. And in case of management, if I name few names, for example, Federal Bank, Colgate Palmolive, right? Your Reliance, then your name sector wise, and you will find that these companies would already be available in case of, for example, in now a lot of companies with the tech background, which earlier used to feel like that MBA students are not required in tech companies, right? So ServiceNow is a company, right? VMware is a company. They are very, very popular companies and offering good lucrative roles to the students of MBA at Mithil School of Business. So you think about any good company in any sector, and you'll probably find that in the list of companies that has already selected students from Mithil School of Business. And I'll strongly recommend all of you to please go and visit the placement page of LPU website, and then you can figure out what kind of packages are being offered, what kind of companies are coming, what kind of roles the students have already been selected. So I'll strongly recommend you to visit the LPU's placement page, and I'm sure you'll get more in-depth answers related to the placements if you have any.
So thank you so very much. Some girl is asking about long-term success in MBA. Can we take her question, Dr. Rajesh?
Long-term success, that's what
Long-term, we will take the question now.
it's okay.
What skills beyond academics are crucial for MBA students to develop for long-term success?
Okay, what skills are essential for students for a long-term success?
Yes.
That's what the question is. Okay, so let me answer it in a way. Let us say, what is actually required for long-term success? And if I answer it very, very in one line, it is lifelong learning.
Yes.
That's what is primarily a thing which probably is very, very essential for growth in the career. So in MBA program, actually, through the kind of assignments, the kind of projects, the kind of networking skills, all that we teach during the MBA program, that actually aligns with a mindset which a student gets prepared for, is that whatever and whenever you get an opportunity, you keep on learning from that. So it's not about getting an MBA degree and getting a job, and that's where the MBA degree value finishes, right? So MBA is actually preparing. Now I'll give you a small example. Let us say if day before, maybe if the budget was presented, right? A few days back, the budget was presented. And if the MBA student is actually studying finance, marketing, HR, and everything, and he doesn't understand the budget and he doesn't understand how it impacts the industry, probably would be a big setback in his career. But the MBA program is designed in such a way that it cannot be, it is not possible that at LPU, a student does not see the budget, he does not analyze the budget, he does not debate on the budget, which means anything which is happening around him in the business world, he is actually getting it, bringing it to the classes for discussion and everything. Now, this one skill of observing everything which is happening around you, bringing that to the class, discussing it with peers, giving your opinion, is not a skill required only to pass MBA degree or for getting a job. This skill is imbibed him as a lifelong learning skill. So whenever he is in the organization, he is actually observing what is happening around him, and his strategies are actually built based upon that observation and those skills. And probably that is what is helping him in the long-term career growth. That's what is required, right? And it is very true, right? We will find a lot of students coming to us that my career has become stagnant, and that's why I want to do MBA. So then how would MBA help him building his career? Because what is stagnancy? Stagnancy is more to do with stopping, that you have stopped learning, you have stopped growing at a particular stage. So when you want to go beyond that stage, you need a skill which actually helps you learn a lot of things around you, but it also needs a skill where you can lead a team. It also needs a skill where you can take critical decisions, decision making. So the MBA programming is preparing you for all those. It is preparing you for leading others. It is also preparing you for taking critical decisions, right? So that's where when you start getting these skills into your regular working,
Over to you, Dr. Kaswan. Maybe some network issue is there. Dr. Kaswan, am
Yes,
I audible, Dr. Kaswan? Yes, you just continue,
yes,
Dr.
ma'am. You're
Rajesh.
audible.
Sorry, were you able to listen to my answer, or is it that I have to repeat?
You just continue.
Acha, so I'll just summarize the point which I was just making. I said if somebody in the industry has started feeling that his career is not growing, and we find a lot of such people coming to us and then doing an MBA program for career growth, right? So why does career stagnate and why does MBA programs provides career growth? That's the reason I was explaining that when you stop learning, probably the stagnation comes in, right? You're doing the same repetitive job time and again. The growth stops there, right? So what do you need now to grow? For growth, you need to actually work with people. You need to learn how to lead a team. So in MBA program, you are actually trained how to work in a team and how to lead a team, right? Second, for career growth, higher career growth, you need to be very, very clear with decision making skills, right? You need to take very critical decisions. And that's where MBA program again comes into picture, that it is one of the most critical skills which an MBA program actually delivers, is that they help students take decisions, right, in critical situations. So that's the second skill which is very, very important required, right? Plus the third thing which I was explaining was lifelong learning, keeping your eyes and ears open to what is happening around you, that everyday happenings are being analyzed and being are dealt with, and accordingly you keep on growing. So that's one. I think these three reasons are the most crucial reasons which I believe an MBA program do train the students in, which help them in long-term career growth.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajesh. I hope, Divya, you got your answer from our expert. Over to you, Dr. Kaswan. Dr. Kaswan.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Kaswan, Aparna is asking here, very interesting question. My ward is confused between going for a PG nearby and university hostel. Please help me in making a choice in this.
I will definitely say about opting for the hostel because first thing I just want to share with you, whenever anyone, if some, I have already shared something unique feature that about the hostel, but still I want to share with you that first thing, 24-hour security is available. The most important thing people are concerned about the same. And other things, I just want to share with you that because School of Business is very near to the main hostels, like girls hostels, uh, so that will be very benefit for them. They can easily reach within the class, within the time. So there will be more time saving for them also. That is also another thing. I just want to share with you that related to the uh, facilities, like in hostel you will get 24-hour electricity. Another things related to uh, library, you can easily go to the library. Library is open up to 2 p.m. whenever the examination is going on, and it is already open up to 12 night. So they can also benefit from the same, and also they can benefit from the different co-curricular activities nearby. Uh, Other things, they can benefit from sports activities that are also situated within the hostel too also. So there is a lot of advantage within the hostel, and I personally recommend everyone, because right now I'm living within the apartment. So I personally recognize that a student must spend the years. I think if someone is coming for his graduation, so he must spend all the year of the graduation with the on the hostel, because hostel provides a different culture to you, learning culture, to stay with the people, to connect with the people, and to sustain in this world. You have to connect with the people. You will learn a lot of managing skill to manage the life. You will learn a lot of things from the hostel. So from my personal, and I suggest to everyone to opt for the hostel. And if someone, there is n number of benefit I can say. If someone must of the hostel, hostel lives tell you the real meaning of the life, how you will manage the people. Uh, I just want to share with some example. If you are staying with two or three people, you will learn a lot of things from them. You will manage a lot of things with them. So hostel life ultimately tells you a different perspective of the management. So that's all from my side. If still there is some question from participant, I will be happy to share with them different kind of questions.
I'll like to add upon to what Mahendra Singh ji has said.
Yes, sir.
I think I have stayed around 7, 8 years of my life in hostel. And I think why I recommend hostel is, though he touched upon this point, but is diversity, right? We were staying in hostel, or when the student get an opportunity to stay in a hostel where you have people from all states, right? Generally, when you take a PG or when you go out and stay, you generally tend to stay with a person from your own state or somebody whom you know, right? But in hostel, when you are staying with people who are from different states or from different countries, that discussions in the evening, that informal discussions in the evening, probably are one of the best things which I remember from my student days, right? That are one of the best things which I remember. And they are the best of the learnings which you can get only in the hostels, right? So you would not never be able to experience that feeling in a PG, or you will never be able to experience that feeling when you are staying out in some personal residence. You'll never be able to do that. So that's the one thing which I just wanted to add upon to what Mahendra just said.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajesh and Dr. Kaswan.
Yes.
One more question is with us. Mahima is asking here, how does a BBA program prepare students for leadership and management roles in the corporate world? Yes.
Okay, so I think I'll again answer this question from the perspective of a management program, which might be true for both BBA as well as MBA program, right? So a management program is actually designed to transform students into strategic leaders and decision makers, right? I am using this word time and again, but this is very important, right? So how does these role actually come in, right? Because you asked for leadership and management roles. So I am assuming leaders and management roles requires actually strategic decision making. So the first thing, I'll give you some pointers onto it, that how do they do it, right? So first thing is, let us say strategic thinking and decision making. So courses in business strategy, courses in analytics, courses in economics develops that ability in the student to make data-driven and high-impact decisions, right? Which probably no other program we actually tell students how do we make decisions, right? But MBA program or a management program, BBA, it might be, the first thing which is important is that students should be able to think strategically and should be able to take decisions which are very, very critical. And one of the tool which is used very extensively is case studies, right? So you give a situation and the student has to think strategically and make decisions. Similarly, the another tool which is used is simulation software, which I explained that we have around 20 plus simulation games integrated into the curriculum, which helps student in take the strategic decisions, right? Second thing is, which is very important for being a leader, you alone cannot be leader, right? There has to be some people who actually trust you, which means there has to be a team which probably trusts you and believes what is that you are trying to say, right? So the management program emphasize on team leadership. So most of the assignments or the projects which we give are in small teams. And if you are able to manage that small team and bring out productivity of that team, you actually are emerging as a leader, right? Third thing, which is important to be a strategic leader or decision maker, is that, and how MBA program is preparing, is that you need to understand problem solving, right? How, and think very, very critically. So that means we have to give a lot of situations to the students, a lot of industry problems to the students, that if you are the manager and you are in this situation, how would you solve it? And this actually hones their problem solving abilities. And trust me, industry would not need people who does not know how to solve issues, right? How to solve the challenges. So very, very important skill if you want to be a leader or if you want to grow in an industry, right? Then networking is very important, or industry exposure. I'll club these two: interaction with alumni, interaction with corporate leaders through guest lectures. Industry mentors are allocated to the MBA students, and this helped them getting the industry exposure, and this helped them network with the industry people. And if you see somebody growing, that you can imbibe in you, right? So that's one way of learning, that's one way of growing. So if you see a leader growing and you imbibe those skills in you, you have ensured that probably you will also grow. Then one other thing which is important for leaders is not to have a very narrow focus, but to have a global, very broad perspective, for which the MBA program actually provides a lot of business exposure, global case studies, exchange programs are there. And these MBA programs actually develop a very broad cross-cultural understanding of people. And that's very, very important again to grow. Plus, one thing which is important for growth, and you'll see a lot of people growing, let us say startups you have seen, right? Swiggy, Zomato, how they have been able to grow is they have been able to spot what is the opportunity in the market and innovate quickly and convert them into an opportunity, right? So courses like probably entrepreneurship or digital transformation or emerging technologies in the MBA program actually ensure that these skills are imbibed in the students. And these skills actually help them later on grow as the business leaders, right? So I think that's how. So MBA is not only about acquiring knowledge, it is about developing a right mindset. It is about developing the skills, and it is about creating a network to thrive as a leader in the industry, right? So that's my take on this.
Brilliant, sir. Brilliant. Thank you so very much, Dr. Rajesh. One more question is with us. Maybe this question will be the last one. Can we take this question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. What role does networking play in an MBA program, and how can students maximize their connections?
I think that's the point which I touched in the last answer. I talked about networking, right? And let me tell you, in most of the management programs, or otherwise also in life, the more you are connected, the more you are connected with the people, the better is your net worth. Net worth, not in terms of money, but then I believe that's what you definitely, when you are networking with people, you definitely have a good people management skills, right? So in MBA program, specifically, I explained it earlier, but then networking with your peers, right? They are also from some industries. They have also worked somewhere. And let us, if you are sitting in a class of 60, and if you first don't understand how to network with them, realize later on these 60 people would be in 60 different industries, right? After 1 year of MBA, 2 years of MBA, they would be in 60 different industries. And that means you would have 60 connections already in the industry with whom you can initiate as a client or as a customer, whatever way you want to, right? So that's the first thing, is that your networking should start within the class. Second, your networking should be with your alumni, right? So an institution where we have a big network of alumni, if you can actually network with them, you can create a lot of live project opportunities for you. You can create internship opportunities for yourself. You can create final placement opportunities for yourself. And you can also create a client relationship for your company with those alumni companies, right? That's another. Third thing, which I said probably, is networking with the leaders in the industry, networking with the people who are already doing in the industry, from the perspective of learning a lot of things from them. And this probably you can start doing immediately through your LinkedIn account, right? So look at the people who are creating value and who can create value for you, right? So networking these days is not only about interacting with few people physically face to face. it has now become more to do with networking socially on the social media platforms. So, and it can help you actually generate revenue also if you become an influencer. If you have networked with so many people, it can start bringing you revenue also. But I think rather than only spending time on social media, on doing different things, one thing which you should invest time on is networking with the right kind of people, and that will bring you a lot of value in the times to come.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajesh and Dr. Kaswan. I hope all the participants got their answers from our experts, Dr. Rajesh Verma and Dr. Kaswan. As we come to the end of this webinar, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our experts for sharing their valuable insights and expertise with us. Your presence, enthusiasm, and active participation have made this experience truly special. Hopefully, the attendees found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information for better decision making regarding admissions. If anyone wants to access this webinar again, they can visit our website, that is lpu.in, or can be accessed on YouTube also. Stay connected with us for future webinars. Until we meet again, with the permission of my seniors, I would be signing off this webinar. Take care and goodbye.